Oh, it's a single elimination, so yeah, it is a semi-final.
All right, welcome to the semi-final match between DeathTacticus and Blue, the best-of-3 game, Game 1.
So we have some combo tiles in the west. We have some amount of carbon as well, so could see a scavenger. No scientific spot screaming to me at the moment.
The issue with the scavenger spot is it's only a single high next to lows again, so I'm not entirely sure we'll see that happen.
Yeah, double geotherm in the northeast as well. So that could be useful for somebody if power gets to be an issue, which I'm sure it will at some point. The robotic fan, though, from Blues on, what, 4,000 or so of debt? 6,000 or so of debt. But they both go robotic, and with the general lack of water on this map, that might not have been too surprising. They both hit 2 at roughly the same time as well.
Oh, I should say before we get too far started, this is your host, Hero Panic, and Terra Incognita.
Yep, thank you, Phil. So we have 2 silicon claims, and there are only 2 silicon tiles on the map. That was something I didn't spot before just now, so they've both taken the medium silicon. No nukes on this map, unfortunately perhaps for us, because that would have been fun to see some nuke battles back and forth between those two. Glass starting low though, although it is a glass colony, so that might be a factor at some point later in the game. But of course, again, 2 robots, so no glass needed for upgrades. First black market of the game goes down onto Blues, with the EMP from DT shutting down his steel and, well, basically everything, in fact.
Yeah, unfortunately with this founding location, there's only so much you can split.
Yeah, for both players actually. And Blues has a little bit more room to maneuver, but DT is going to be hemmed in basically on 3 sides there. He's got a little 2-tile spot to his east, but otherwise it's all going to be to the west. So it's going to be ripe for some black market activity at some point.
Blue's just sitting here waiting for his steel to come back online, which, fortunately for him, he already has the electronics he needs to get the upgrade, because DeathTacticus is crashing the steel.
Yeah, I was going to say, look at the price of steel. It's $25. Basically no money needed at all for the upgrade, but the problem is that all that Blues is making, he doesn't have any money at all, because everything he's making is worthless. That's true to some extent.
He doesn't have any money, but Blues will get the upgrade because he had the foresight to buy those electronics first.
Yep.
DeathTacticus was buying into glass, just watching it creep up as a colony demands it before he sells out of all of it, powering through the upgrade.
Yeah, he did make a little bit of money from that glass. He bought it sort of in increments a while ago, and it was enough to see him through to HQ3. Blue's putting some power down very early, and in fact power has gone kind of crazy, I guess because of all the steel mills that have gone down.
Steel mills from the robots consume power for all their life support and use power for shipping, so it's not surprising to see it get a little bit high here in the early game.
DT,
both players grabbing a water tile.
Yeah, and DT in reactors, which seems like a strange decision to me, honestly. It's just not making very much money.
It won't make much money, and it will increase the amount of power that's fed over.
Yeah, by a lot as well. He's putting 2 solar panels down.
That will cover his power costs.
Yeah, but that's about it. With power at 240, time seems pretty ripe for a power play of some description. I wonder if we're going to see, so a mutiny comes down onto the solar panel. Does DT have a cooldown? He does.
Yes, he can respond if he wants.
And he just about has enough money for a counter mutiny if he wants to. Deciding against it for the time being, though. And the other thing I was going to say, I wonder if we're going to see some of this silicon not being shipped anymore, because it is costing a bunch of money in debt. The one that Blues is shipping is losing
92 a second.
Yeah, losing basically $100, taking debt into consideration.
And DeathTacticus costing him 62 just to ship.
Yep. So
DeathTacticus not electing to take that silicon back.
taking the solar panel back.
I'm sorry, solar panel.
And yeah.
Nobody has claimed those double geos, which makes me a little sad.
Yeah, it's a little far away.
It's understandable. It's a little bit far away, and with two players, once power's driven down, it won't necessarily come back like in an FFA game.
So I guess the reason not to stop the silicon shipments is because basically the only, like the deciding factor of this game pretty much has been decided at this point. It's going to be power. So if you can put solar panels down and make power, then you're going to be in a really good position, and that might be what both players are going for here.
Apparently, DeathTacticus thinks so, calling the early good game, I think, in chat.
Yeah, I don't know. Like he's got the 2 solar panels. He's going to get his third one back shortly. He's just mutinied a wind turbine as well.
The difference is DeathTacticus is in B debt.
Yeah, and Blues is making money. Blues is now making power money.
No debt and making power money.
And the fact that his upgrade costs so little, the fact that resource upgrades or upgrade resources cost so little, means that he's going to be able to upgrade very, very soon. And that might just be enough to snowball him to a big lead. Hacker array, though.
The question is, how much do you pay for this hacker array if you're Blues?
If you're Blues, yeah, and he's decided he's going to pay basically nothing for that.
Nothing. Now I'm curious, immediately going for an energy surplus.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the smart thing to do, just because Blues is making so much money and he does get the upgrade. And with that, he's going to go into glass.
Food and some glass.
And yeah, this is where the silicon becomes quite important, because glass has become valuable. It's going to get more valuable as well because of the colony.
It's now consuming 1 glass a second.
And DT gets to the upgrade as well, so he's not too far behind. And power is now properly crashing, so Blues' temporary advantage from that is pretty much spent.
Right. The only downside to DeathTacticus killing the price of power with its hack and the production of it is he won't get to pay his debt off, but it would seem more important to stop that just flow of income for Blues.
So hacker array unused at the moment from DT. I wonder if he's going to be looking to find a market he can hack. The problem is he doesn't have very much money, and really to make a hacker array work you need to have money already in the bank.
To use it the most effectively, yes. He is, however, hacking.
Oh, he's hacking glass down.
A glass surplus.
Yep, so
he is not in glass. A lot of his buildings are currently frozen and or mutinied at this point, so it's a little bit hard to transition.
Am I right in thinking that surpluses take less time to hack than shortages? Is that right? Can somebody confirm?
That might be the case. I do know Yerand is watching, and I'm sure he'll chime in with the answer any minute now.
Yep, I would imagine so as well. So glass does get hacked down, and that will hurt Blues a little bit, but he's still making a decent amount of money from those glass tiles.
Yerand confirming our suspicions that the surpluses do take less time than the shortages.
He thinks he's confirming, so that's good enough for me.
Good enough until Blues corrects us after the game anyway.
Yep. So Blues to 5.
Blues probably wrote the entry on the wiki article for
yeah, that's very likely.
Blues is the first to 5.
Yep, straight into electronics with that. So he's going to be making some money from those as well, 100 per tile at the moment. Also buying into a bunch of electronics. I wonder what the reason... I guess that's to make the upgrade expensive for DT?
Yes. DT's not in electronics. He has 29,000 on hand, doesn't have any electronics stored up, so Blues playing around with it a little bit means DeathTacticus has to pay 13,000 in electronics for the upgrade.
Yep, and what I was saying before about finding a market for the hacker array, he's found chems. presumably he's going to buy into a bunch of chems very soon, and that's pretty good because neither player is in chems, and it's really cheap, so you can buy a lot of them, which of course matters when the price goes up by a set amount. With the hack, I think it's something like $50, and instead he concedes, so fair enough. He was quite far behind. Blues not in very much debt, able to ride those electronics and mainly the electronics to victory. Well, yeah, the power earlier in the game was what made him a bunch of money. Let's have a look how much. 89 according to the tab, yeah, and he basically made a profit of 50,000 on power over the course of the entire game, and DT had a deficit of about 40,000. So that really was what decided the game. Blues making enough money at HQ level 3 on power to be able to upgrade very cheaply and very quickly to 5 and snowball that to a win. So that's game 1. We're going to hop into game 2 very shortly between these guys.